Hello, my name is Cecilia Tico Perez, and my thesis name is Research in Language Transfer that LEI Students Experience when learning French as a third language at an A2 level. And my thesis supervisor is PhD Amelia Chique Suarez. Well, when I was taking French classes level 4 at CELE, most of my classmates were LEI students, and each time that we attempted to speak in French, I could notice that there was some transference of English on French. And that is the reason why I decided to study this topic. As you all may know, since 2009, the Benemérita Universidad Autónoma de Puebla implemented the Modelo Universitario Minerva, which says that one of the requirements to get a BA degree is the certification of a second language at an A2 level. At the Faculty of Languages, LEI students have to certify English at a B2 level, being their second language, plus another one that they can choose among the courses offered at the Centro de Lenguas Extranjeras, being their third language. It has been noticed that LEI students tend to choose French as a third language. Therefore, because of the previous English knowledge students have, which is higher than French, they present problems at the moment of speaking. Here are my research questions. What is transference? What kind of transference are more likely to happen when LEI students learning French as a third language attempt to speak? What are the positive and negative transferences students commit the most? Is there a pattern presented in the transferences committed? The general objective. Well, this investigation attempts to identify the most common transferences that LEI students commit during the acquisition of French at an A2 level, which is the level students are supposed to reach when they are studying the level 4 at CELE. Here in the chart, as you can see, in the level 3 and 4 of CELE, the students are supposed to reach the level A2. The specific objectives. First of all, investigate what transference is. Then identify the type of transference LEI students commit more regularly when speaking French as a third language by observing an A2 class of French at CELE. Then classify the kind of transference presented in LEI students learning French as a third language when speaking into positive and negative. And then classify the transferences into grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary to recognize which transferences are more likely to happen. Here is the justification of the study. I think it would be helpful for other students to identify the most common problems that they might have to avoid them and recognize the positive transferences that they could use. It will also be helpful for teachers to know about this topic and take advantage of it in order to know what to do when transference occurs. Literature review. According to Bryce, 2009, language transfer is the cross-linguistic effect or influence that two or more languages have on each other. This may occur in either direction, that is to say, between the first language and the second language, or between the second and the first language. And language transfer is divided into positive and negative. Well, positive transfer is the similarity argues that positive transfer can accelerate the learning process. On the other hand, negative transfer. It occurs when the first language and the second language system do not match. According to Alvarez, 2014, it occurs when the systems regarding structure and meaning are not the same. And this may cause confusion in learners. Well, here, Ellis in 2000 presented 6 factors that would cause language transfer. Number 1, social factors. These are such as the influence of the learning environment. Those could be the equipment, schedule, activities, and so on. Number 2, markedness of a certain language. This occurs when one linguistic element is more identified than another element. Number 3, prototypicality. This is having a first pattern of something from which other forms are copied or tested. Number 4, language distance. It refers to the differences between the L1 and the L2. Number 5, developmental factors, such as social environment, cognitive process, linguistic abilities, etc. And number 6, transfer at different linguistic levels. It refers to syntax, discourse, pragmatics, etc. It is also important to distinguish between these two words, errors and mistakes. Errors are made by learners who have not yet mastered the rules of the L2. On the other hand, mistakes are common mistakes among the native speakers made by fatigue, excitement, etc., and consequently can be self-corrected. This is the methodology I used in order to carry out this research. The type of research was qualitative, the method used was ethnographic, and the subject for these investigations were 9 LEI students, 5 females and 4 males, from 20 to 24 years old. The main characteristic of these participants was that they already finished target language 5 and were studying French at an A2 level at CELE. The instruments, observations and charts specifically designed to collect data were used. In the procedure, well, observations were made during the whole course of level 4 at CELE. These are the formats I designed in order to collect the data. Here are the grammar observation formats, vocabulary observation format, and pronunciation observation format. Here are the results. Well, this is the grammar observation. This chart has 5 columns. In the first one, there are phrases that participants attempted to produce in French, whereas in the second column, the English translation can be observed, which is a literal English translation. Then in the third column, there is the correct way to express the phrases from the first column. As you can see here, in the first column, blanc un, it's a literal English translation, white wine. But that is incorrect because the correct sentence is bon blanc, which is the structure that do not match. Then this is the vocabulary observation. In the first column, there are English words that the students used when they were speaking in French because they did not know the word in the target language. They used these words in French. In the second column, there are the correct words the participants should have used. As you can see, there is a similarity between the English and the French words. And in the first, second, third, and fourth words, the meaning is the same. But in the rest of the words, there is a different meaning, being the first part a case of positive transference and the second negative transference. This is the pronunciation observation. In the first column, there are French words with the phonetic transcript. Then, in the third and fourth columns, we can see the exact words, but in English, with their transcript too. Here, all the words have the similar or same spelling and the same meaning in both languages. However, they are not pronounced in the same way. Bien, the French words, pronunciation, document, phrase, orange, changer, musicien, and in the English words, document, phrase, orange, change, musician. There is clearly a case of negative transference in pronunciation. Here are my conclusions. In the grammar part, students borrow some structure from English, such as adjective plus noun, as it is used in English, and also adverb plus verb, as it is used in English too. And that doesn't happen in French, because in French, the correct structure should be noun plus adjective, and then verb plus adverb. Then, in the vocabulary part, there were words that have a similar spelling but different meaning. False cognates. Then, in the pronunciation part, students realized that there are many words with the same spelling. Therefore, the third factor of prototypicality proposed by Ellis caused this language transfer. In this case, English pronunciation was given to the words that have similar or same spelling, and that doesn't work in French. There was only a case of positive transference in the vocabulary observations. In the case of words that have a similar spelling and the same meaning in both languages were used. Here are some directions for further research. Further researchers should consider giving students techniques and strategies to overcome the transferences found in grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation, and then check if there is a difference without strategies and with them. Then, this work has revealed the transferences of English during the acquisition of French as a third language by LEI students. However, it can also be investigated on LEI students learning English as a third language, doing the opposite. And finally, the study may provide more information if the observations are completed with the teachers' and students' perceptions towards the transferences presented. Here are my references. And thank you so much for your attention.